Hello.
Hey, Nancy, how's it going?
Good. Good. I'm on
Excellent.
time today.
Well, yeah, that makes one of us.
For a change.
All right, I'll be right back. Just give me 2 seconds.
Sure. I'll run the show.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So it looks like it's just us, Nancy. Really, really
Oh,
busy night today, or busy day today.
yeah, I suppose. Yeah, I was only going to be able to stay for a short time today. I've got tickets to Hamilton tonight.
Well, that's
So,
exciting.
yeah, it's my second time seeing it, so it's kind of fun.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, and hey, Lorena, nice to see you. All right, so do you have any questions?
Not really, but I've just been trying to figure out the landscape for virtual events and funnels and all of that. So I've been listening and learning a lot, but I don't have any technical questions at the moment. I
Okay.
have reached out to Justin, and Justin is going to kind of guide me a little bit on all of this as well.
Fantastic. Well, all right. So we'll hang tight for a few minutes. Lorena, do you have any questions?
Now we're just diving back in. I was just going to listen in.
Well, I'm afraid to tell you if both of you don't have any questions, there's not a whole heck of a lot to talk about.
Well, your dogs.
Yeah, that doesn't feel. I mean, we can talk about the dogs if we need
Yeah,
to,
I
but
know. Um, well, I do think about how your platform works with the organizations that you're working with, and when you work with someone who pays you to be an exclusive client there, are you in the background all the time working that whole event, or how do you do that?
you mean like when we work for like Cody Sanchez or whatever?
Yeah, somebody
Or
who pays you a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, when somebody pays us a lot of money, we generally are connected to the entire event. It's not uncommon for us to, well, yes, we'll usually be on site for the entire event. We generally have a series of calls leading into the event to plan it and make sure that everybody knows what it is that we're doing, what it is that they're doing, and how things are going to flow during the 3 days. Um, and then usually, I mean, it depends on the client and how things roll. But usually, what we say to people is, you're responsible for showing up and delivering great content, and you're responsible for filling your event. Pretty much everything outside of that, we have our hand in. But those are the things you're responsible for, and depending
Right.
on the structure, that kind of is the rest of it. Does that answer that question? Kind of.
Yeah, I've attended Tony's events and watched and wondered how you guys all are in the background doing things. So
Yeah,
Is there a
Tony's
team
events are
with
a
you?
little Tony's events are a little bit different, and I would say generally speaking, our relationship with that team is complicated, and we're involved in a lot of things, and there's also a lot of things that we have nothing to do with. And I know that doesn't necessarily give you an answer
Oh,
to the
just out of
specific
curiosity.
question. Yeah, but we're involved in quite a bit, and we're also not involved in quite a bit. So there you go. Tony's events are unique, as you would
Oh
imagine,
yeah.
with somebody who has like a team of, I don't know how many hundreds of people are part of their full-time team, full time studio, right? They don't work out of our studio. So there's a lot that's different about that particular event. What's up, Justin?
Yeah.
Good evening, good afternoon, Blue. Ooh,
Good
what a
evening.
great way to start off talking about how we all work with our higher end clients and what we do for them.
Right? So much fun. How
It
do
is
you
so
work with
much
your
fun.
higher end clients?
As you were going through it, I was like, that's exactly what I do with my higher end clients as well. We're there for the whole event. And in there, we're having all those planning meetings to make sure all the things are buttoned up before the event starts. I very much believe that the things you don't talk about and hope people remember are the things on the events that get missed. So even when we do multiple events, we still go back through the same process. That's because every time like, oh, we can shortcut. It's like the fifth time we're doing this. Inevitably, some key piece is missed that we just assume. Some slide deck's not updated. Some run a show's got something old that we're not doing, and
Totally.
we go through all of those pre-meetings every single time. They get shorter sometimes, but we still go through them. We're definitely there the whole event. It really does drive me nuts when I see people that have hired someone to help them produce their event, and then the producer really isn't there. They're trying to pop in for the offer, but they're really not. I'm like, wait, like they paid you a whole heck of a lot of money, and then you didn't show up for any of the stuff that to make sure they made the money. So we make sure we're there the whole time. Like we're invested.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah. The event space is an interesting one. I'll just say it like that. And there's a lot of people who run events very differently than I would expect my event to be run if I hired them. I'll just say it like that. Lane, how are you? We're having a very just kind of open conversation right now because none of you actually have questions about Obvio, so we're just kind of talking.
Cool. Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good, thank you. I actually have a
Excellent.
cold, but I'm good.
I hear you on both fronts.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions about Obvio?
At the moment, I don't. Valerie, my wife Valerie, she does a lot of the audio stuff. I'm the tech guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
How, as being the tech guy, how did you manage to not do all the Obvio stuff? That's the question that I'm sure some people are asking themselves right now.
Really? Is that what Nancy's wondering? Look at her.
Well, it's really
Is that
just
what you
me
want?
who's wondering. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
Nancy's wondering that.
Well, as two Canadian boys, right? You and me, we're no. What happened is yeah. So that my wife comes up with these ideas, and then I kind of just I say, all right, you tell me what you need, and then in the end, I sit at the desk and I push buttons and click the
You
mouse,
do the
and
thing.
I do the thing in the background. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we did actually. You were just talking about Tony Robbins, and she was part of the fire team years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and so she knew a lot of the captains. So we did like a fire team reunion for the Robbins environment a couple years
Right.
ago.
Yep.
And so we got all the captains all the way back to like the first one. I think there was just one assistant captain out of all of them since the beginning of Robbins that didn't show. So it was kind of really cool just to hang out with all those guys.
With all those guys again. That's awesome. Whereabouts in Canada?
Oh, I guess I wouldn't expect you to remember the story. I'm the reason you got to where you are today because I bought a ticket to the circus in Windsor, Ontario. Yeah.
Okay. I believe that. How far back are we talking? Because I mean, that's I know the last time we sold tickets to the circus in Windsor would have been 2003, 2004. But I remember going to Windsor, Ontario, and we've probably had this conversation already, but I remember going to Windsor as a kid growing up, like 4, 5, 6 years old. I learned to ride a bike without training wheels in Windsor, Ontario.
Yeah.
There was a hotel as you drive into Windsor. Windsor, as you kind of like come, I guess, down the 401. Is that what that would be?
Yep. Yep.
Doesn't like the 401 kind of end and you kind of keep going down into the main street of Windsor, Ontario?
Yeah.
I
So
feel
it
like that.
becomes Huron Line. Yeah.
Yeah. So on that street, I don't know if it's still there. There used to be a motel or really a motel, like a 2-story property called the Viscount.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's where I remember spending like 4 to 6 weeks a year as a kid growing up, because that's
Yeah.
where
That was near a Kmart or something down that way. Yeah.
crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah,
I bought
how
tickets
far
in
back
the
we talking?
90s.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought tickets to the circus in the night. You might have even called. No, you probably weren't the one on the phone, were
It
you?
probably was no, it probably wasn't me. I started working, although at that time Windsor was one of the last police associations that we worked with. So we either called you on behalf of the Windsor Police Association
Uh-huh.
or on behalf of the Police Retirees of Ontario, because we worked with them across the country or
Yeah.
across the province, really. But yeah, Windsor was a cool town. All right, I see we have a couple of other folks. If you have an Obvio related question and don't just want to talk about the circus, then you can either just raise your digital hand, or you can, of course, post a question on the dashboard as Justin has done. Kat King asked in the chat, what's the easiest way to use your dashboard for impromptu meetings? If I'm being on, like, you mean like client meetings, internal meetings? Is that what you're talking about? Just whatever. Just talking on Zoom. Like you're saying, how can I use my Obvio account instead of Zoom, basically?
Yeah, last meeting we had, somebody wanted to meet with me. Christy wanted to meet with me. And because we have our thing, I gave up my Zoom account because, like, why have 2 Zooms? And then I said, well, yeah, come with me. And then I saw I was going to have to get passwords and all this kind of stuff or sign up. And it's like, okay, I'll ask next Obvio. So that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I would say to you, generally speaking, don't do that. You can, and there are some people that do use Obvio for their impromptu meetings, but the challenge with it, I'll say this. I own Zoom, or sorry, no, I don't own Zoom. That'd be awesome. I own Obvio. And, if anybody knows how to use Obvio, let's just call it inside and out, it's me. I don't ever use Obvio for impromptu meetings. I still pay the $15 a month or whatever it is for my Zoom account. I have a regular Zoom account. When I'm doing client team meetings, that's what I use. So if you wanted
I just went to go get the free version, and I just said, okay, it's 40 minutes. I gotta go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, that's one way to make sure your meetings don't go long, right? So yeah, that's probably what I would do. Honestly, you can use Obvio. You can set up a dashboard. If I was going to do it, these are the steps that I would do.
Okay.
I would set up a dashboard that has a generic name like catking.obv.io or something along those lines. And then I would enable sign up on the dashboard. Then I would put a redirect script on the login page that redirects anybody who lands on the login page to the sign up page. And then I would build a really simple dashboard that all it has on it is like a link to join the meeting and almost nothing else. Like maybe a little bit of like, hey, welcome to Blue Melnick's private Zoom meeting or private Obvio meeting. Click the button below to join or something like that. And then I would just give out that URL and people would have to enter in their first name, last name, and email address in order to access the Zoom meeting. They would have to, that would take them to the dashboard, which is nice and simple, and they'd click that button to launch Zoom. Now, for you personally, that means that you have to log into Zoom, or sorry, you have to log into Obvio. You have to navigate to the event. You have to go to the area that the main button is connected to. You have to open the area, you have to open the room, and you have to start the room. Now, to me, that just sounds like a lot of steps where, yeah, you've got a nice branded experience, but if I'm not going to do that, and of all the people to actually use Obvio as much as possible, it's me. We registered a domain name called meetwithsage.com, and I have blue.meetwithsage.com, and that redirects to my Zoom link. And that's, if somebody wants to meet with me, that's what I give them. And that's so much easier for me. It's so much easier for them. They click on it and they get directly into the meeting. So I don't know. I love Obvio, like love it, love it. But it was built for events. It wasn't really built for impromptu meetings. So
I just
can
wanted
you
to
do
know
it?
if there was a way.
Yeah, but that's the steps that I would take if I was going to build it for an impromptu meeting. Justin, I saw you unmuted. Do you have any contradictory or complementary thoughts to that?
So I agree on your thought that Avio is not the best thing to use for those kind of one-on-one kind of team meetings. But if you are, what I've actually had several people I've met with have done this. They just turn on the direct access link for the Zoom room and just give that link out. Their dashboard has no design at all to it. They've just designed that registration form for the direct access link. And you just have to put your first name, last name, and email in each time we go join one of the meetings, and saved you from doing all the work that Blue mentioned and still get them into the Zoom. But I still think a regular Zoom account works better.
Yeah, you still have to design the login page because that's where the
logo is.
direct access links. Yeah, that's where the direct access link gets the look and Teams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
only
I agree
thing-
with you, Muddy. That's a good point.
Yeah, my only thing was there's been a couple of times like when Monica met with me, and I did have already set up because it was already with her and stuff. And she gave me so many golden nuggets. And if I hadn't had it recorded, I wouldn't have been able to go back and remember what she said because there's no way I could write everything down that she told me as fast as she was giving it to me. So that was my only other thing. And
Yeah.
since Christy does a lot of stuff like what I'm doing, but in another version, she was giving me a lot of golden nuggets also. And I just had to write my notes really fast. So
yeah,
that was
and
my only
listen,
thing.
that's
Thank
where that's where the free version of Zoom is limiting, right? Because even the $15 a month version of Zoom has cloud recording. So you know, um,
Thank you.
now with
Gotcha.
all that being said, that's $15 a month. And if you're trying to spend that $15 a month in a different way than use Zoom, then yeah, everything that Justin said and that Muddy said is accurate.
Justin,
And
would you
with that
remind
being
me
said,
where
I
the direct?
still use a Zoom account, like a regular Zoom account. Sorry, Kat, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I went
Mm-mm.
looking for that little number that I remember there was a little number, a little thing to get the direct access. And for the life of me, my brain was like, I kept on clicking around and I couldn't find that little thing. So if there's no a whole bunch of other questions, if you don't mind, can you just show me one more time?
You got that one, Blue? Or you want me to share?
What? I mean, she specifically said, Justin, I really would like you
I know
to
you
show
like
me
how I
this.
passed that off.
I don't care who helps me. I just want to know somebody.
Yeah, go for
If
it,
no one
Justin.
else
I
has
just
other
want to.
questions,
I think I know where you're sending her, but why don't we just? I'll let you take it, just to confirm.
Let's find the right screen to share. All right, Kat. Once you are inside of your event, when you click on Zoom areas, you'll see the list of areas. You will pick the area, and then you'll see the number 1. Once you click on that, and then the toggle you want is this enable direct room access. Then you'll be set. And then the other thing that I'll add that you don't get with Avio is all of the AI note takers don't get into Avio. And I love having an AI note taker on my calls because I can't focus on taking notes and listening to the person. And if I'm truly taking notes, I'm missing half of what the person is saying. So that my AI note taker really helps me out. And that's one of the other reasons I do keep a paid Zoom account. So I get cloud recordings and I get my AI note taker in there.
When you turn off the requires approval function, do AI note takers get in at that point?
I have not had luck with that because it still takes to the registration form. And the registration form at least lets you in at that point. Or if you have registration turned on, it takes you to the registration form, but then the registration goes into the black hole of the internet. And so I still have to go through a registration form, even when it's not turned on as requiring registration. And the bots can't figure out how to fill in the first name, last name, and email address of that form.
This feels like that is a big miss from a note taker perspective. Like, that's just.
Yep.
Like, really? That's crazy. That's crazy. Just saying. That's crazy. All right. Any other questions? Let me double check to see if any of you have submitted questions. You're welcome, Kat. I don't see anything in there yet.
If nothing is in there, this is Alice.
Hey, Alice, what's up?
Hey, this is for me for my account, not my sister's account. I have a class I've been running, and I've decided, while we're working on her big project with my own Obvio account, I'm looking to go ahead and in the next 2 weeks, migrate that class over to the Obvio platform. And this will be my inaugural experience. So should I just pull that up and all those things on the left-hand side, just follow it, and it's pretty intuitive to set up under Marketplace.
Sorry, say that one more time. Say that last. You
Can
cut out for a
can I
moment.
put under Marketplace? I see there's a purchase page. Is that where I can load in information for them to pay for the course now via the Obvio event?
Technically, the answer to that question is yes. there's a few things that you have to do. Um, Tell me something. Do you have a platform, a CRM, something that you generally will communicate with your attendees with outside of the event? Go High Level, ClickFunnels, HubSpot, something like that.
Mm, That answer is no. I have been doing it via email. The
Okay,
other
and you're
thing
just
that I
doing
have
it. You're just
separate
doing it. You're just doing it manually via email.
manually, for me, that's manual.
Okay.
The other is I have the mastermind program through
Yep.
Dean.
So you have
I don't
MBS.
know if that's an option.
Yeah,
Say
it
that
is.
again.
So in the mastermind program, do you have the was it the $1,000 version, or are you on their upgraded coaching program?
The $1,000 version.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's called Mastermind Business System or MBS.
Yeah. Yeah. MBS. Yes.
Yeah, and MBS includes Go High Level, right? That's the main portion. It's a Mastermind branded version and customized version of Go High Level.
Okay.
And if I was you, I would probably set up my sales page for my event using that. Now, I don't know when you signed up for MBS, but I'm pretty
At the
sure.
I'm in the inaugural class, the founders class.
Okay, so
I
I
think.
don't know if you get access to this or not, but I'm pretty sure at one point they were offering to set up your like first page for you as part
Okay,
of the annual package with MBS. And if you haven't taken advantage of that, I would.
okay. Okay.
Um, I was having an interesting conversation with a member of their team last week, and he was telling me how many people never take them up on that offer, and we were just kind of lamenting that it feels as though something that folks should do, because
Mm-hmm.
it's super valuable to have somebody else do the work for you, and then be able to go in and make changes to the work that they've done. So I would be doing it that way, and then connecting Obvio and MBS through our Go High Level integration. And
Okay.
that would do all the things you need it to do. But I would start with getting a sales page through mastermind.com. And the
Okay.
reason I would do that, Alice, you can do it through Obvio, but the reason I would do it
Mhm.
through the MBS system is because the reality is that's probably where you're going to eventually have to communicate with your attendees, like with your list,
Okay.
right? Like
Makes sense.
eventually you're going
Mm-hmm.
to have let's speak positively. Eventually you're going to have too many people on your email list to be able to email them manually one at a time, or even
That's
blind
kind of
copy a
why
bunch of them.
yeah.
So, and MBS, that's what that system is for. That's what it's built for. And Obvio is built for events. So it's great for those moments in time when you are hosting an event. But MBS gives you the full package outside of the events. So these two systems work really, really well together. You sell your event ticket in MBS,
Mm-hmm.
you communicate with your attendees via email in MBS, and
Mm-hmm.
then you connect MBS and Obvio so that you can invite your registered attendees, the people who have purchased their ticket, to come into the Obvio dashboard.
To the event.
And once you get your sales
Okay.
page up and running, we can, you come back and we can walk you through that connection.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Kat, I was hearing your conversation about getting you a Zoom. I have a Zoom upgraded account that I get for $12.99. If you send me your email address, I will find it and forward it to you so you can see about signing up. and take advantage of that offer. You just found it. That's easy. cat@catking.org. Nice. Nice on the brand new.
All right. Any other questions that we can help answer?
Hey, Blue, can you hear me?
Hey, I can. Hey, Bill.
Been a while. As you probably know, I've been kind of sitting here with Obvio on the sidelines, and I've been doing live events and stuff, and finally ready to finally really sink hard into Obvio. A while back, I already set up my dashboard and stuff like that, but I want to do my first webinar, and then I'm going to do them like every week is the plan. So I'm doing a live event in Tampa next Wednesday, and then every Wednesday after that, I want to do a webinar. So my only question really is like, is there some videos somewhere that I should watch to refamiliarize myself with the system? It's probably easy, but I'm just like a little freaked out by like, okay, because I know one of the things you guys say is like, don't run your own event. And so I don't
I believe don't tech your own
don't
show.
tech your own event.
Don't tech your own show. And admittedly that we're talking about, don't press buttons on a switcher while you're trying to teach. You know, not necessarily don't sign up your not necessarily don't sign up your what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, I just got distracted by a text message that came in. Not necessarily don't set up your own Obvio dashboard. So there's a lot of content on the workshop, like on the dashboard that you use to get into this. There's a link to the workshop recordings. And you know, there's 8 classes that are 2 hours each that kind of give you a full walkthrough. Now, that's 16 hours of content. I'll say two things to you. Number one, half of those calls are Q&A. You don't need to watch the Q&A. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I generally speak slow enough when I'm teaching this stuff that you could probably watch it at double speed and be fine. So you could probably whittle 16 hours of content down to 4 hours of actual watch time. And you may not need to watch it all, right? Like you may watch a video and be like, okay, this is about this particular topic. I don't need to dig into this. I understand it. I think once you understand the pieces and parts and the difference between getting attendees onto the dashboard and into Zoom, because they are two slightly different things. Once you understand that, it's a lot easier to use the platform. Okay.
Yeah, I've primarily only used it for one-on-one events so far.
Say it again?
Which really isn't. I've primarily only used Obvio for like having 1 or 2 people on so far.
I mean, bottom line,
I always seem to screw up the meeting time. Like for some reason, like whenever I try to go live and it's like I didn't do it right, you know, somewhere in there. So
well, what I would say to you is the event start and end time when you're creating your event for the first time, always tend to make it start a couple days before your event begins and end a couple of days after your event ends. Don't make it the exact time of your event, because this is one of those things that is just the start and end time of the event is not visible to participants. It's an internal time thing only, and it does change access to Zoom and how you can get people into it. And it's probably the single biggest pain point that people have.
Okay.
So That's
All right. Yeah, I just didn't
I
want
would
to like.
just
It
go with that.
seems like I was always concerned I was going to screw you guys up with allocation or something, so I tried to keep it strict.
I would say don't worry too much about that.
Okay.
Yeah, we use
All
it
right.
as we use it kind of as a guideline, but that honestly, it's a legacy feature that's been there for quite some time, and we just haven't removed it yet. Grant and I have had long discussions about whether or not we should, and so far we clearly haven't come up with a solid answer.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Sweet. All right. So let's see. I think there is a question from Muddy about widgets. So, are they ready for use? The answer to that question is yes. Am I ready to give you a demo? The answer to that question is no. And the reason for that, Muddy, I'm happy to enable it on your account and you can play with it. And I can show you what it looks like inside of Obvio. But one of the things that we really need to do with widgets is make them a little bit more user friendly than they are right now. So let me start by sharing what widgets are, because I think that for some of you who are wondering what the heck is a widget, you wouldn't be wrong to ask that question. So high level, a widget, at least what we are calling a widget inside the Obvio platform, is a snippet of code. It's like an embed code that allows you to put some code on a thank you page after your participants, your attendees have registered for your free or for your paid events, and then have a way to easily, from the thank you page, get your attendees onto the dashboard. Currently, what has to happen, generally, it depends on what your setup looks like, but currently you sell your event ticket on Go High Level, on ClickFunnels, on whatever platform you're using. And then you sync up your dashboard with your CRM. And once your CRM, whatever that CRM is, tags a contact as an attendee, that attendee gets created in Obvio and the information gets sent back to your CRM. And now you can email your CRM or your attendees their login link, their magic link to get into the dashboard. Now, everything that I just said actually takes less time to do than it does to explain. It really takes about 30 to 60 seconds for that entire process to happen behind the scenes. So generally speaking, somebody goes, they sign up for your event, and within 60 seconds, they get an email from you saying, here's a link to the dashboard. One of the things that we're trying to accomplish with widgets is to shorten the time frame that it takes people to get onto the dashboard. So rather than having to wait for that email, they, from the thank you page, can click a button that takes them straight in to the dashboard using their magic link. And that's what widgets do. Now they do this in 3 different ways, and I'll show you what those 3 different ways look like. So inside of the platform under production, there's going to be something called widgets. Now, right now, I don't believe they're there, but I'll show you how they work, just high level, okay? And when I say they're not there for everyone just yet. If you feel up to it and you really want to give something like this a stab, we're happy to add you to the beta list and enable it for your account. But like I said, just know that it is currently a work in progress and one that we are working on making a little bit easier to use. So step number 1. you configure your widgets. Now, allowed origins, this is where are you, what's the website that you're adding to, or adding this widget to. So you can leave it blank, or you can put in the domain name that your sales page lives on. If you don't know the answer to that question, just leave it blank, it's fine. Next up, when an attendee is created via the widget, you can apply a specific tag. You can also apply specific groups. These are optional, and for now, I'm just going to leave them blank. Now, next up, this is the complicated part. When somebody lands on a thank you page, what winds up happening is, generally speaking, depending on the platform that you're using, your client's information, your client's first name, last name, and email address lives somewhere on that page. Now, oftentimes it's invisible to people. Sometimes it's in what's called URL parameters. Sometimes it's in what's called local storage. Sometimes it's in cookies. Sometimes it's in what's called session storage. It varies based on the platform. Now, if I've already made your head explode, this makes sense to me because this is the part that we're wanting to make easier. And what Justin and Grant and I are doing right now is we are essentially collecting information about how your average or your standard platforms that we see our clients use most often store this information. And we're going to be creating what's called profiles. So you're going to be able to click a little link and say, and pick where your sales page is currently stored. So it may be ClickFunnels. So you would pick ClickFunnels, and then this information will get automatically selected for you, right? And until that function is ready, we're really not likely to enable this widely just yet. So if you're on Go High Level or a variant of Go High Level, you would pick that. If you're on HubSpot, you would pick that. Or if you're using Samcart, you'd pick that. If you're using Kajabi, you'd pick that. There's a whole bunch of different systems out there. And the more we find out about, we'll add them as we go. But essentially, it'll make it so that you as not you, Muddy, but some of you as less technical than perhaps myself or Justin or Grant, don't have to go and figure out what this email key is, what this first name key is, or even what it means. So you're going to be able to select the platform and it will fill it out in advance for you. Now I'm actually going to go to, as I say this, a different event and show you what it looks like filled out. So this is for ClickFunnels. So for my page, it lives on pages.sagehub.com. I have this testing blue item. That's the tag I wanted to apply. I was testing a group, and this is where it starts to get confusing, right? So I had to find this information for ClickFunnels, but this is where it's stored in local storage in this key. Now, you don't want to figure that out, so we're not going to make you. But for now, you have to enter it in manually. Now, then you have 3 different code generators to generate your widgets. Number 1, the first one is a redirect to dashboard. Now, if you enable that, what'll wind up happening is you'll see, or the end user who just signed up will see a little text box that looks just like the preview that you're seeing right here that says redirecting to dashboard. And after 5 seconds, their page will get redirected to the dashboard. Now, this information will be useful, or this sort of redirect would be useful during an event. We probably wouldn't do a redirect to the dashboard in advance of an event, but our concept for this one is if you're doing an event and people are signing up at the last minute, we want to make it as quick and easy to get to the dashboard as possible. A dashboard redirect without them, the user, the attendee having to click anything is the easiest way to do that. Now, if you'd rather have a clickable button, you can do that as well. and you can customize the text. And then similar to other things on the dashboard, you can customize the font color, the font size, the text color, the hover text color, all of the same things. This is all probably pretty familiar to you if you are if you've built with the dashboard previously. So want to, make it a little bit wider? Go ahead. Want to make it a little bit taller? Go ahead. Want to change the border color to something? You can. So a lot of possibilities to save the button configuration, and then it gives you a preview of what it will look like on your page and a code snippet that you drop onto your page. And again, you just press copy, it copies that snippet, and you paste it into an HTML or JavaScript insertion point exactly where you want it on your page, on ClickFunnels or whatever your system of choice is. The last one, and by the way, when they click that button, they get automatically, it goes to their dashboard, to their magic link, which is pretty awesome. All right, the last one is add to calendar. And add to calendar is, I think, probably my favorite, but it still needs a little bit of work. And here's what add to calendar does. It allows you to select when your event is taking place. So if my event was taking place on the 29th at 12 p.m., I would make my start time then, and then I would make my end time, let's say 1:30, because it's going to be a minute-long webinar. And then you get a widget that doesn't look quite like this. It's going to look more just like the icons under Add to Calendar. And when the user clicks on the Add to Calendar button, what it does is it opens up and creates a new calendar item for that particular user in their calendar of choice, right? Whether it's Google Calendar or Outlook or Yahoo or Apple, Apple Calendar. They can click whichever calendar system they use. It adds that calendar item to their calendar and simultaneously includes the login URL as the, like their magic link, as the location of the event. Now, something you don't see here just yet is the ability to customize the details or the text box that details go in on the calendar itself or on the calendar item that gets added. That's something that will be added in the next couple of days. So that's essentially widgets. And widgets in action, I don't know if this is, if I've actually, I'm going to just turn all of these on. And I have I don't know if this will work because I haven't tested it recently, if I'm being honest. This is just a sample, and what should happen if it's working, and like I said, I don't think it is in this moment because I think we changed something and I haven't updated my widget, is right here, that widget would actually show up. So again, it's not functioning on my sample page currently, but that's on me, not on the system. So that's widgets in a nutshell. And the purpose behind it, like you may be thinking this, why all of this stuff? And the main purpose is to make it easier to get your attendees onto their dashboards. Because the easier it is to get the attendee onto the dashboard, especially with free events like webinars or challenges, the easier it is for them to get onto their dashboard, the more likely they are to actually show up. And, if they show up, they're more likely to take whatever the next step is you're wanting them to take from their, from their live event or from the live event. So that's widgets. Hopefully that was useful. Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be really, when it's fully functional and we have some of those profiles already in place so that it's easy for you, like you don't have to dig through trying to figure out how your system of choice forwards the user's first name, last name, and email address, because they all do it, right? Every single one of these platforms forwards that information from the opt-in page to the thank you page. They all do it. It's just they all do it slightly differently. And that's the challenge. So the system is really flexible, but much like a lot of things in platform development, the more flexible it is, the more complicated it is to actually use. So we made it flexible so that it would work with a lot of different platforms. And now we're working on making it more user friendly. So not only will it work with those platforms, but it'll be easy for you as the end user of Obvio to actually use. So we're working on it. Muddy, the main thing for most of these platforms, like you're probably like in the case of ClickFunnels. So if we go into, I'll show you how to actually find it in the case of ClickFunnels. And it's different for all of them. But what you're going to want to do is once you get on the thank you page, you're going to want to open up what's called DevTools, development tools inside of Chrome. Something similar exists inside of Safari. And then you're going to want to look under storage, and you're going to want to look in you're looking for your website. So pages.sagehub.com is what I would be looking for. And now when you click on that, you see this key value pair. And what I'm looking for is the email address and the last name. And well, really that's it. So here is what it looks like. So from here, you can highlight that and copy it. And then you can go into your widget. So if I were over here, I would go back to
And if
events.
it's not actually in the URL parameters, it'll be in the dev tools and listed under local storage or session storage or something like that, typically.
Or cookies. Yeah, exactly.
Cookies.
And you may have some, depending on the platform, you may have some interesting challenges. But here, so I'm just going to take this, copy and paste this like this, and I'm going to go, I know that this is first underscore name, and this is last underscore name. And if I click save, actually I'm not positive, but that may make this work, or it may not. Oh, you know what? ClickFunnels is funky with, what's it called?
Do I need the merge code there instead of that asterisk?
No. So we're working on a couple of different answers for that question.
Yeah.
What I had in there previously was, how can we do this in such a way where we don't have to define the URL, right?
Got it.
So what I actually think we can do is remove that entirely, like this, and just have it be star, because if you think back to your, I don't know, DOS
Yeah, that'll
days.
include all that. That's a wild card.
Yep, exactly. So, and I think I've actually rotated the key. So if I disable this and we go copy code, and I log into ClickFunnels, and I'm just doing this because honestly, none of you have actually any questions. So I'm just kind of killing time. If you have a question that you'd really like to get answered, feel free to drop it in the what's it called?
Obvio dashboard.
In the Obvio dashboard. Thank you. And don't judge the amount of unread emails I have. It's a lot. All right. So now I'm going to go to funnels. And I'm going to go to this sample that I have. And then I'm going to go to the thank you page. I'm going to edit it. And I'm going to go into the editor. Yeah, I'm using the old one. And go into here. This is the button. Copy that code. Back to ClickFunnels.
And the first widget is not a button, it just automatically redirects. Is that the idea?
That is the idea, yep.
Yep.
Okay, and then I'm going to drop the other one on here as well for add to calendar. And I'm just going to use the default. Now, it does take, let's see, 1759. So with ClickFunnels, sometimes changes will take a few moments. So we'll go back to the thank you page and click refresh and see if it shows up yet. But probably not, because it's not 1759 just yet. So while we're waiting for that, but yeah, that's the general idea. I see.
That's great. And not
Yolanta,
even add to calendar has multi-day events without subscribing to a whole dang calendar. So kudos.
Yeah, now multi-day events are, the one thing that I will say is it just, when you create an all-day event inside of your
it's
calendar.
a whole day, not a timed within the day.
Yeah, exactly. Which is the reason why we are aiming to put, it's the reason why we're aiming to put the description in the calendar item, so that if you can actually put in the description day one.
The little details.
Exactly. So by itself, the add to calendar covers, that's happening today. And then the user clicks on it and they can actually see the details from the thank you page, or from the details that you input. So that's the idea anyway. We'll see if, once we have it working, it'll be pretty awesome. All right. Let's see. Let me go to your question. Do you have that open by chance, Justin?
I do. We have one from Yolanta. She's building out a ticket registration page in Marketplace, and she's wondering if she should keep the current sequence of blocks on the template as in case it's already been optimized, or should she switch it up just a little for better performance?
I would say to you that performance is not the primary objective of Marketplace. And if you're worried about web performance, you may want to choose a different platform. Things that you can do to improve web performance, generally speaking, the low-hanging fruit web performance for web pages is images, and making sure that you're not using images that are overly big, right? Like if you have a photo of, we have this happen to clients all the time. They have a photo of, like, I ask for a headshot so that I can put it on the speaker page as an example. And I get a headshot that is like 4,000 by 6,000 in terms of the resolution, right? So the first thing I do is I just open it in preview and resize it to be tiny, right? And I make it like 400 by 400 because I don't care. Like nobody's ever going to zoom in on it and see that is compressed. So that's step number one. The next thing that I do, I save that usually as a JPEG because they're more compressed than than PNG files, especially if it doesn't need a transparent background. And then I'll go to like tiny PNG or something along those lines, upload the image to that and have it recompressed again. And that usually gets me a much, much, much more reasonable file size from an image perspective. And then we upload those images to Obvio, whether it's the marketplace or dashboards or what have you. So that's kind of my workflow. I'm sure there's a better process. I'm sure there are better ways to do it. I know WebP, I think it's WebP, is another image format that is generally even more compressible than JPEG or PNG files. I just don't use them. So that's usually what we do. And again, that's like low hanging fruit. The other thing that tends to slow down web pages is scripts, right? So, it's not uncommon for us when we're building an opt-in page that we're going to be sending traffic to from Facebook or something along those lines. And it doesn't matter what the platform is. We build the page, we check for speed, and we, score really, really high on speed, both on desktop and on mobile. And mobile's the one that matters, by the way. Desktop doesn't. And I say it doesn't matter. Of course it does. But if you're running ads, generally speaking, 90 to 95% of your traffic is mobile, right? So mobile is the score that you're looking at that matters. So we get really, really great score on mobile. And then I'll show it to, our traffic person, and the traffic person will say, that's awesome. Okay, now drop these scripts onto the page so that we can track conversions. And I drop those scripts onto the page to track conversions. And the moment we do that, we go from like 85% in terms of speed down to 50 to 60. And sometimes we can get a little bit better, but it's always the scripts that kill us. And I'm in a constant battle with our, with our traffic team who complains about mobile pages that don't load fast enough. And yet they're the reason that they don't load fast enough, because they've asked us for a bunch of tracking scripts that slow down pages. And I'm not a web developer. I'm sure there are other ways to be thinking about that. So I don't know if that really answers your question, but it's a starting point.
And she was also asking, Blue, she mentioned it in the chat, but not just the tech side, but conversion wise as well for sales.
When it comes to conversions for sales, I think above the fold is really important. The first thing that they see before they scroll down is really, really important. It has to be either eye-catching or a combination of eye-catching and intriguing, like good copy. What's in it for me type copy. And the sorts of things that we are looking for when we're looking at something like that, when Barry and I are looking at something like that for a client, is we're looking for, are we interested in reading more, right? Because everything above the fold, the only thing it's designed for, like the only thing you should be thinking about, in my opinion, is, does this make the reader say, that's interesting, tell me more? That's interesting, tell me more, click to register. That's interesting, tell me more, scroll down to the next section, right? So everything is designed to essentially build on itself until the user says, oh, I'm ready to register. And then from there, oddly enough, those scripts that we just talked about that are the bane of my existence when they come to speed of implementation or speed of page loads, also have there's some platforms out there that can show you where people are getting to when they're on your page. I wouldn't leave those things on my web page for very long. I'd do it to get enough information as I need, and then I would move on. So, all right, I see another question from John Witt. What is the latest thinking / timing on being able to extend Obi to my clients? We are actively testing, not just with us, but with a couple of other clients right now, John. So Without giving you a firm commitment, I'll say soon.
Okay, have you watched The Chosen? Because when Jesus says soon, it's pretty undefined.
So is this.
Okay, I just will tell you that
It's somewhere between now and the date that we release it for everyone,
I've shared this with a
which I'm
few
sure
clients.
tells you absolutely nothing.
Oh no, that didn't help. But there's a lot of interest on my client side. Um, because I could try to do it for them, but it doesn't work out very well that way. If they had an opportunity to do it for themselves, it would really make a big difference in their marketing process.
Mm. Well, I'll tell you, we're going through right now kind of it's a hard process, but we're going through right now. Justin can keep me honest on this, but we've now spent, I think, about 3.5 hours this week going through the admin area of Obi and working on kinks, bugs, and just UI refinement to make it so that, like, right now, when somebody who is a what we call creator, right? And if you think about it, inside of Obi, there we have creators and we have users. From a Leap perspective, you're a user, and Barry and Blue are creators. We own the AI hub, and you, as clients of Leap, as users of the hub, you go into it. Where I log in to make changes to Obi, the creator side, the creator dashboard, right now I know how to use it, but it's not very intuitive. Obvio makes Obi, or Obi makes Obvio look really, really easy to use and really intuitive. And if that tells you anything, that unfortunately is going to be a little bit of a process. So we're working on it right now. I've got another call scheduled tomorrow. That's about 2 hours on my calendar. We're spending a lot of time talking about it, and the dev team in between those calls is, of course, going through, and some of them are really minor changes, but we're working on making all of these changes so that when you log in as a beta tester of the platform, undoubtedly for the first time, you're looking at it and you're not going, what the F do I do now? So that's what our goal is. We've got a really functional platform, and it does a lot really, really well, but it needs some love and attention, and we're trying to learn from some of the things that we did less than perfectly with Obvio, with this. So that's where I am right now. And I know that doesn't give you an answer, but that's where I am right now.
I still appreciate the touch point, kind of knowing where you're at.
Well, it's still high on our priority list. I'm still spending at least a few hours a day working on that platform. So yeah, we're working on it.
Thanks.
You're most welcome. All right. You're welcome, Yolanta. I hope I'm saying that right. Feels like I'm coming close. Okay, thumbs up. Awesome. All right. Any other questions that we can answer for you guys? You can put them in the chat. The way we're going right now, there's not a whole lot of us. You can raise your digital hand. You can drop it on the dashboard. Lots of ways to ask your question. I'll give you a couple moments to think about that. Go ahead, Janine. You should be able to unmute yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. My question is, I saw that the dashboard was filled with my own information. So somebody on your team filled that in, or is it related somehow to the sales page that we gave you to give us the dashboard as a first
There's no
design?
direct connection between Obvio and your sales page. Somebody on the team was me, and we pulled information from your sales page and used it to create the dashboard.
Okay. I was impressed. I was impressed because it's for the first time I saw something about what I'm doing coming from someone else. And if this is what my clients would feel, I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. If it makes you feel any better, all of that came from you. The only thing that didn't come from you, the welcome letter that is on your dashboard. So when somebody logs in and they see some information about the event, what we do for Leap members when we create a dashboard, we have a pretty standard welcome letter that we wrote. Honestly, I probably wrote it 3 years ago at this point, and we just modify it. So what I did is I took our standard welcome letter, which is the same one that TVE members saw, and I have a prompt that I copy that welcome letter into ChatGPT, and then I copy your sales page, and I say to ChatGPT, I need you to rewrite this welcome letter, but make it for this event. This is the website. This is the details. Make sure you're using their language in creating this welcome letter, but keep the general tone or the general information the same. And it goes ahead and redoes everything. And I'm at a point where I just copy and paste that directly onto your dashboard. So that was done with ChatGPT.
Wow.
The welcome letter was anyway. And it was done with ChatGPT using your website as the baseline for what to write on it. And our original just welcome letter as the content guide or outline.
Yeah, so I don't know where to start to now use it for my weekly, because I would really like to use it for my weekly webinar, because I don't want to get to the 3 days and then get overwhelmed and not knowing what to do or something like that. So I opened it and I'm like, now what? Is there?
Well, so now what you need to do, how are you selling tickets to your event?
A sales
Your
page?
your sales page. What is your sales page on? Like what's the platform? I don't actually know that.
Go high level.
Okay. And have you done something in Go High Level where when somebody is tagged or when somebody purchases a ticket, they're tagged in Go High Level? Like with a tag
For
that says they're an
emails?
attendee or something? Pardon me?
For emails?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an assistant doing this. I don't have that assistant anymore, so I'm gonna figure it out. Should I tag that? But I have I was curious enough to know what I need to do, so I need to put a tag for them, right? I need to.
So what you're going to need to do is in an ideal world, what you do is you connect Obvio and Go High Level to each other.
Okay.
And
through Zapier?
No. You can do it through Zapier, but I wouldn't. We have a native integration with Go High Level. So you go into Go High Level, or you go into your event. You go into under attendees, there's an option called services. And you click on services and you will see a list of 6 or 7 or 8 different services that Obvio connects to. One of them is Go High Level. So you click on Go High Level, and that will walk you through a process. That'll walk you through a process to connect Go High Level and Obvio so that they're able to talk to each other.
Okay.
Okay.
I go
Later,
to my
John.
dashboard. On the dashboard, there's event, right? Because I don't have it open right right now? When you said you go to the event, you meant the event on the dashboard?
No, remind me what your organization is called.
What's the 3 days event, or what's my Janine Asmar concept? Or
No, inside of Obvio, you have. Oh, I see it. Never mind.
the you
I got
you
it. I
mean
got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm good. Okay, so what you do is you go into your dashboard,
Mhm.
and from here you're going to go down into attendees, and
These.
you're going to see something called services right here.
Mhm.
And then you're going to see something called Go High Level right here.
Got it.
And you click on High Level, and you're going to see the option to authorize. Now, when you see that, you click it, and that's going to take you to a login page for High Level. Now, I have to stop here because I
Yeah.
don't want to connect your event to my High Level account.
All right.
But once you do that, you're then going to, oh, this is handy. You're then going to see a page that looks kind of like this.
Mhm.
And you're going to need to create, Justin, correct me here, in High Level, campaigns are called automations? What are they called?
Correct.
What are, pardon me?
Automations.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay.
Aut-
So in High Level, you're going to need to create an automation.
Mhm.
And that automation is going to need to trigger on your attendee purchase, right? On the product purchase of your event that you created in High Level. That's
Okay.
connected to your what's it called? Your sales page, right?
Mhm.
So what you do is in that automation, you apply a tag when an attendee or when a contact purchases that product. And the tag is on a page that looks just like this.
Okay.
So you can just click the little copy button, and that will copy and paste it. And then you apply that tag specifically. It has to be that tag inside of your campaign or inside of your automation to the contact. Once you do that, then the next thing that you do is you create a custom field. Whatever you want that custom field to be called doesn't matter, but I would call it like event Obvio login URL or something like that.
Mhm.
And you can do that from Obvio by clicking on create new field, or you can do it from High Level by going into High Level and creating a custom field, which admittedly I don't remember where that is in this moment, but you can do it from Obvio. You don't have to do it inside of your own platform.
Okay.
And then you will scroll down and you'll see this option to save.
Mhm.
And once you click save, now anybody who purchases an Obvio or a ticket for your event will wind up coming to your account in Obvio under the attendees tab right here, and it'll be automatic.
Okay. My question is, because when I'm going to be doing this, I probably would have forgotten everything you said. So I can, this is recorded, right? And we can.
Yeah, the recordings are on YouTube, I believe. So you can get those all of the recordings, but you can tag today's on YouTube. And and there's a link on the Obvio dashboard. Look at that. I didn't know that. Huh.
Is there?
That's handy. Uh, The link to today's is YouTube playlist. Look at that. This is today's, so I can show you that there.
I'm gonna actually copy. All right. Awesome. Yeah. When I get there with my memory, I know that I would want to go back step by step. Thank you.
No problem. Well, this is random, but I happen to be looking at so a question on YouTube actually from is that Jim? JM Moke? And he has the following question. Not sure if he's still watching on YouTube. If a client is not registered and someone shared the meeting link, it redirects them to a Zoom registration page. Now, if they know the login link, requests a password reset, they are able to join. Jim, I'm not actually sure what your name is, but that shouldn't be possible. And if you want to join us in Zoom, yeah. I just dropped the link to join us in Zoom. So the meeting link and the forgot password request, those are two separate pieces that are not connected to each other. So if somebody goes to Zoom or goes to, basically they're not connected. So I'm trying to just kind of think through how that could be happening, or trying to understand the question a little bit clearer. And I'm not sure I do. So that I'm not being terribly helpful, I'm sorry to say. But yeah, that's definitely not helpful. I apologize. But if they go to like the Obvio dashboard and they request a forgot my password, and they know an email that is linked to the event, and they have access to that person's email, I guess technically, yes, they could get in, but all right, so I see if you can come into Obvio, just open up a browser and go to update.obv.io. You should be able to just enter your email address, get onto the dashboard, and click join the meeting. I'd be happy to take a look at it. There's a few things where I guess it's possible. I can drop can you see, it's just update. Like if you open up a browser, it's just update.obv.io. I can't actually drop a Zoom link in here because the Zoom link won't work because it's an Obvio meeting. But that update.obv.io will take you to a login page where you can put your first name, last name, and email address, and then get onto the dashboard, and from the dashboard, click to join us, and I can give you we can talk through it. So, and from a visual perspective, yeah, I did the same thing. Did it not go there, Muddy? I may not be logged in, actually. Anyway, so here, when you go to update.obv.io, it brings you here. Type in your first name, your last name, your email address, click sign up or log in, and that takes you here, and then you click join the Q&A call, and that will have you join this call right here. So Muddy, you didn't see my comments? I'm guessing you didn't if you're asking that, if you're saying that.
Well, and my link I dropped was gone too. So my guess is that live chat does not allow links. So, but here comes Sean into the Zoom meeting.
Cool. Well, there we go. Hey, John, how's it going? My comments? I'm guessing you didn't if you're asking that, if you're saying that. I'll pause myself. You can unmute yourself, John.
Yes, hi. I was watching your live. And so yeah, we have this issue that when you're in Zoom right here, right now, I could go to let me just check the participants, and then there was a copy meeting link somewhere right here on Zoom that I was able to see as an attendee. So
Right.
even even if they are not registered, if someone shared the copy link, the Zoom link, although it's under the obv.io slash some links there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe that one that Mari sent. So if I click that, what happened to me was it redirects me to a Zoom registration page. And now
Right.
it added me to the attendees list on the back end of Ovio. And so if someone sends them the dashboard link and requests a reset password, I am able to receive a password reset from Ovio. And now I can log into Ovio dashboard as an attendee to click the join room, and then I am in the Zoom room.
What's do you know what the name of the organization is that you're working in, or the name of the event?
So yeah, it's 7 Ways to Wealth.
Okay. And is it the Wealth Trustee Workshop? Is that the one?
Yes, and it's currently live.
Yeah, I won't change anything. I'm just kind of curious about something. Give me a moment to take a look.
I believe I deleted my test email, but it added me actually as an attendee. And I see that, yeah, it does not have the automatic, the tags that are created, what I did on high level in order for Ovio and high
Can I?
level to communicate each other.
Yeah, and how did you register? Did you? Sorry, what's the email address in your event that is the registration?
I believe I deleted already the account, but it was jmaoke@gmail.com. That was the test that I did.
Got it. Yeah, I don't see it here anymore, unfortunately. So
this one, I'll click on this link. Let me just register.
Do you want to share? Do you want to share your screen? I'd love to see you do it. To be fair.
Yeah.
One thing that occurs to me, if you are doing this testing on your page, whoops, and it's possible that if you're not in a secret browser page, that the Obvio cookie actually was I know you and logged you in, but I don't think so.
They're not really the Obvio cookie is not really connected. Like the dashboard, the event dashboard is not connected to, they're not connected.
Yeah. To contacts.
Okay, so it says, okay,
I
here we go.
So when I joined this, I have the support at TSOB email, so I'm using this as my personal. Then I click
No problem.
register,
Mm-hmm.
and then okay, I'm here. So registration is pending approval, but since you gave me the link a while ago, which is update.obv.io, I could let me just check.
You're gonna need to sign out when you go here, but yes.
Okay.
So yeah, you're not. It's okay. Hold on
Sign
one second.
out.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second before you because that's the problem. Just give me one sec. Let me turn off that because this is a sign up page. This is not a
Yeah.
login page. That's a sign up page. So give me 1 second to disable that script from our own event, so you can. Because I understand what you're trying to show me. So just give me a second to make it so that you can actually show it to me. Okay, remove remove sign up. It may be cached. That's the only problem, but do that. Yep.
Mm-hmm. What's the
Yeah, click.
password? Is there a reset link or?
There is 1 second, and I will get that for you. I think it's forgot.
Forgot.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me. Does anybody remember that off the top of the page? Leap.obv.io.
Oh yeah. Huh? Oh, it redirects me back to sign.
It's not that then.
Uh-huh.
Sorry,
No, but I'll
I have
check
to.
now.
Yeah, I'm looking at a dashboard that I am logged out of. I just need to get logged out. Is it reset password? Yeah, reset_password.
Reset.
Oh wait, no, that's not it. Hold on, that's not it.
Let me try incognito.
Maybe it's forgot
It's forgot underscore.
Yeah, sorry, forgot _password.
Oh.
Yeah. So what I'll say fairly certain of is that the registration page that is the Zoom page that you got kind of stuck on is not connected in any way to the page that you're looking at here. Like to your event, right? So if you were to go to
As would you be able to see a log on our backend here whose attendees are deleted?
Yeah. Give me a second. That's a
Because
little
I was able to so this is what happened on my Gmail that But yeah, I was able to receive a password reset, and I was able to
So the only way a
see
password
the
reset, yeah,
yeah
the only way a password reset will work is if you're an attendee inside the platform. If you're not an attendee inside the platform, it won't work. So
yeah,
the
but
password.
mhm.
So
I
give me
was
one
I was
sec.
able
So
to see my name here on Ovio, and the tag, like for example, this one, it all sees the tag from our go high level, right? But when I did that the same process a while ago, the tag that was added to that contact is like related to Zoom registration page.
but
So
they're
it
not.
added me here as an attendee with the tag
Oh wait,
registration
hold on.
page Zoom.
Does he have oh come on, what is it? Seven
The
ways.
direct access link is not turned on.
That's what I was going to ask you. Okay, thank you.
Or is there something that we need to do in Zoom settings or something in order to prevent that?
Well, I mean, the bottom line is it should, like what you're saying. I mean, I'm not saying that what your experience was isn't what happened to you. What I'm saying is I don't know that I I feel like you must have it. Was it jmoake@gmail.com you said?
Yes.
And when did you try this?
Um, maybe Monday. Yeah, because it was reported to me Monday during the workshop, and our operation said that, oh, someone can copy the link. So I did just that. The same way the process a while ago, and I'm seeing this page also. Your registration is pending approval. And then when I checked the backend of Oview, I was there, added as an attendee with the tag Zoom registration page.
Did it say room registration page?
As Zoom registration page, Zoom.
Yeah, I think that it's possible that you misread that. Um,
It it add the tag. Yeah, it added that tag, and then since I am able to, I was added here. That's why I tested the password reset, and then it sent me the password reset email on my inbox.
yeah,
Let me
so what I think took place, can you go to Zoom areas
Zoom areas. Okay.
on the left-hand side of what you're showing? Yeah, and go to Wealthy Trustee, yep. And then go into room 1. Click on the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, did somebody see where it says enable direct Zoom access? Toggle that on. Did somebody
Mm-hmm.
grab this link from something?
No, only the that kind of link that Muddy sent, like the Zoom. I mean, Ovio
Blue,
link.
if you click Zoom settings on the area page, will it show you whether enable or
It's
require
not. Yeah,
approval? Yeah.
require approval's already on. I did look at that. Trying to remember what the key is. Do you remember what the key is in telemetry, Justin? I'm guessing you don't because this is a Tyler thing.
Not a clue on that one.
Yeah.
So as Blue is looking that up, yes, if somebody, there is a toggle when you go to create an area, and it's on by default that says requires approval.
And
And
it's on.
my
It's on in this
understanding is,
case.
yeah, I know, but I'm just kind of giving a little backstory here. My understanding is the whole purpose of that is to prevent what you are describing.
Yeah,
That if someone were to copy the link from Zoom and give it to someone else, it would
yeah,
take them to that registration page. But like you experienced on this call right here, it just says it's pending approval, and that approval never goes anywhere. It's just a dead end. So it wouldn't add them as a user into Avio. My only other
no,
thought is
no.
that somehow they got
It
the
added them as an
tag in high
attendee.
level. Um,
Yeah. The thing is, it doesn't do that. Like, that's not. I hear that. Do you happen to have the name of another person that may be in here that hasn't been deleted?
Okay, I will do a test again tomorrow, and I'll send by email. But yeah, um, this is the one when I did the test because, yeah, as you mentioned, it will not sorry,
So
let me
yeah, the
rephrase
reason
that.
you got that, is because you were. So scroll all the way up to the top, and click on. Let's just double check the email address that's going to. Yeah, that down arrow, perfect.
This one.
Yeah, JMAO. Oh, AO. I'm spelling that wrong. Shoot. Hold on. JMAO ke@gmail.com. Save. Okay. What is this? Okay, so that's that action. What's this one? So the tags that you saw is called
Mm-hmm.
room registration,
Oh
not
yeah,
Zoom, not Zoom registration. Room,
yeah,
ROOM.
room.
It was room registration, and what I'm guessing took place is at some point. Yesterday at 10:19 a.m. Eastern time, that's when you deleted them. When did they get created, though?
Could be Monday.
Yeah, no, they got created before then. Give me 1 second. Let me. I think so. Our Okay, so here's what took place on February 4th.
Fourth.
February
Uh-huh.
4th at 10. Sorry, at 1839. Is that UTC? I don't think it is. I think this may be UTC. So 1839. Sorry, just give me a sec. Let me look at that specifically. Yeah, so at 1839, which is, let me just see if I can find an actual time. Yeah, February 4th, 1839. I'm pretty sure this is Eastern time. So 6:39 p.m. Eastern time on February 4th.
Mm-hmm.
You clicked a link that was a room registration link. So you were probably doing testing with Zoom, I would think, on February 4th. And you went into Zoom via a room registration link, because I can see that took place at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you go into Zoom using a room registration link, that technically creates an attendee record for that email address.
Oh.
Inside of your account. So in your particular case, yes, you were able to do a room like an email, like a forgot my password. The reason is because your your email address technically was an attendee, not because of Go High Level, but because you clicked a direct access link and entered in your first name, last name, and email address as jmoke, if I'm saying that right, at gmail.com. So, I mean, this is not going to mean anything to you, but this is where I can show you where it happened. So I was originally looking at the last 9 days, and I can see this is where you deleted your contact record yesterday at like whatever 10 in the morning or so. This is where the actual attendee was created back on February 4th. So that's technically what happened. So right down here is when the attendee was created. And the tags that you saw was room registration. I don't know if you see this right here.
Yeah.
That's what the attendee tag was. So once that happened, that does create an attendee inside of
that one.
Inside of here. So your ability to get a forgot my password from the login page was connected to this. It wasn't yes, you did do a room like a Zoom registration page, but while it felt like they happened at the same time, they weren't connected. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So I just want to make this actually like make it Obvio more secure for me and and the client, that knowing that anyone does not have the ability to just share the link and log in as because that was an issue before for us, that someone is sharing the Zoom room and then we don't know who it is, or maybe someone's copying the name. And
the only thing that could happen is if somebody on your team went into Zoom areas, went into the Wealth Trustee Workshop, and went into Zoom rooms and enabled direct access, and then copied that URL. So like, this is the URL. I'll show you. If I go to this URL, it's going to ask me for a first name, last name, and email address. So I'm going to put Blue, Melnick, blue@poweredbysage.com. And when I click join room, it's going to show me that the room is offline, because it is. But I believe if we go to attendees and we look me up, I may not show up actually because the room was online, or offline. So that doesn't actually show it to you.
I think you will, Blue, but I know we cached that, so it takes a few minutes to show up.
Got it. Okay.
It's in the back end probably, but the front end doesn't show up for 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, because of the sync between Dynamo and RDS.
While you're sharing your screen, can you go back to the Zoom areas?
Yep.
And then just pull up the settings.
Yep.
So
it's this one here.
Right now, with the way you have it set with requiring registration, you'll still get that registration page and it'll go to the pending, which nobody ever replies to the pending, so they're never going to get approved. Now, if you happen to create a new Zoom area and you turned off that requires approval, it still goes to the registration page, but then instead of saying registered, it'll say register and join and let people right into Zoom if you were to create a new area that didn't have that checked. The
Okay.
other way people could get into there by sharing their dashboard link is right next to it. If you clicked on same user can join for multiple devices, then I could give my dashboard link to somebody else and they could come in. It would name them as me, and then there'd be two of me in the meeting. But as long as you have that unchecked, they can only join from one device and have to leave the first device before they can join the second. And as long as that first checkbox is there, they'll get the pending screen and it'll never be approved.
And that's the default, John, right? So the default requires approval. Like when you go to create a new area, the default settings are the most secure settings that you can use. So as long as and that's how they're currently set, right? So inside of your existing Zoom area, they're set correctly from my perspective.
Awesome.
You guys enabled Q&A and you disabled interpretation, but outside of that, these security settings are set so that it won't allow attendees in. And here's my username. So this is what I mean, like that that room registration. And if we click on it, it says room registration. Now, if you were moving fast, room registration at a glance, if you were wondering if it was Zoom registration, it could potentially have looked like it, but I promise you from looking at the telemetry, it said room registration. It wasn't Zoom.
Yeah, room registration.
Yeah.
Is that, anyway, thank you for that. I do have another question would like to ask. In the event settings, I was set like I was not able to update it during when the event was live, but I have an issue because it says February 5, 8 a.m. But when I log in, when I was put in a waiting room, the time that shows up does not, like, it's not the same. I converted it to, because I am from the Philippines, it says 2:27.
Yeah. Not only that, John, yeah, you're right. So the waiting room, like if we were to go into a waiting room, the start and end date of the event in there is really messed up. It's like a year in advance and it's not accurate. And what I would say to you is don't use the waiting room. Because first off, that's not something that you can change, unfortunately. But one of the things that's really nice about, or how Obvio works, is you have what we call a waiting room, which is the offline page. Right. So that what I would do if I was you is I would keep the area offline until you're ready to let attendees come in. And then in the offline text right here, and you guys have customized this, right? You can customize this even further, right? You can say, the event will go anyway. Somebody has done this already, so you guys can see how to do that. But by keeping the area offline until you're ready to let attendees in, it acts as a waiting room because attendees see the offline page, which has your custom text. And if they are sitting on that offline page when you click open area, it will automatically redirect them into Zoom. So the functionality is exactly like the waiting room, but you don't have to. But it's customized to you, right? It has your branding. It has it mirrors the same branding as the login page. So you have 7 ways to wealth. You've got, you've got your branding in there. So that's how I would do it. And to Muddy's point, from an Obvio perspective, best practices are usually to not use the waiting room and just use the toggle for areas. That'll serve you much better.
Thank you. And what does the open room on the number one, like, what does it do? If I toggle the open rooms.
Yeah, so what open room does when you're working with Zoom inside of Obvio, there's two things. There's the ability to open rooms and there's the ability to open the area. Opening rooms is what allows you to actually then start the area, right? Or start the meeting. So with the room closed, you can't nobody can get in. But when you open the room, admins, people who have access to Obvio, can get in. And then when you're ready to let attendees in, you open the area. For those of us who have done in-person events in the past, what we oftentimes tell people is open rooms is like opening the back door to a ballroom. Opening areas is like opening the front door to let attendees into the ballroom. And that's the mix. But your room has to be open in order for you to be able to launch Zoom.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm all good, and it's nice to know the security features of Ovio. We're still exploring this one, and we recently actually switched to Ovio, and it has been a challenge for us because it's like a week before, and we need to do things. I need to figure out everything.
Totally. Listen, it does definitely take a little bit of getting used to. I think once you get used to it, you'll find it's really awesome. At least I think it is. And this call that you're on right now, we do every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you run into any questions, and you want to run through this, of course you can watch it on YouTube like you were. But jumping into Zoom and allows us to dig into it a little bit easier and answer questions and, get your specific use case figured out.
Okay. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for your help.
Of course. Yeah. Thanks for being an Obvio user. We're happy to have you guys.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Welcome. All right. Well, look at that. We had some actual technical questions. Go team, go. Hopefully, Janine, you got some really important stuff out of that. All right, everybody. Well, listen, thank you for a great Q&A call. For those of you who are watching the recording, you can always show up live on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern by going to update.obv.io. and getting yourself signed up. It's free. All Obvio users, as well as people who are team members of Obvio subscribers, can come and ask questions. So do come and do that. And then, of course, we stream on YouTube. You can go and peruse old recordings if you really want to. Other ways that you can get support: Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Generally speaking, you can connect with the Obvio chat in the bottom left-hand corner of the application. That is not AI. That's a human, I think. And then in addition to that, you can email us at help@obv.io. And we are usually pretty fast to answer emails. But those are your ways to get support from us. And we hope you have an awesome week. We'll talk to you next week. And if you have an event between now and then, hope you have an amazing event. Thanks, everybody.